Pentacles. This is Practical Prince. We're doing Talk and Tarot. But before we get into that, just a heads up, next Wednesday we're going to start doing Tarot Time. Instead of doing live questions, we'll just go through questions I find online and give people answers there. So with that said, doing well, Lavina. How are you? Excellent. Glad to hear it. Congratulations. It's nice to have things finally getting there. Excited about it? Excellent. Well, your meeting is just around the corner. So, basically, in general, how will it go, and any tips? Let's see. Looks like Midnight's going to be answering this, and we'll just see what we get. Okay. Gotcha. So there's definitely more details and answers in there. So if you want follow-ups or clarifications on specifics, we can probably find them in there. Generally, how the meeting will go. This doesn't feel so much like a tip, but maybe it will be implicit in what it says. And then this will speak to yes, no on finalizing the date. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles, Mother archetype. And then we've got Three of Wands. Yeah. Let me double check the Three of Wands. I want to say that deals with adventure to a certain extent. It's normally a yes card, so pretty sure that yes, it does get finalized. But as far as specifics of what else might be entailed with that. There we go. Represents expansion arising from a passionate heart. This card is a good fortune card, which reveals that your projects and relationships will thrive. You are about to embark upon an intense period of activity where you may be inundated with messages, communication. It's a good time. This is a time of great self-expression. Also a card of travel and embarking on new venture. Yeah, so yeah, basically it's positive for starting the new family. And then Queen of Pentacles, we'll go ahead and look that up since we're already here, but that's Mother archetype. Eternal success and abundance. The Queen is generous and supportive with a strong maternal instinct. And I'm just going to skim through, but yeah, it seems very positive, gentle, really, in a sense. So yeah, as far as how the meeting goes, it goes well. And as far as fixing the date, that's a yes. Any questions, any details we needed to get into? Oh, and I'm sorry. Yeah, because you've got the separate fixing versus marriage. This speaks to yes, marriage. That's what you were asking about. So just to clarify that real quick. Yeah, Sachin, go ahead and drop your question. Or if you just want a general reading, that's fine too. Just let me know. There wasn't any specific guidance. If you want, we can check the deck. But I mean, this was generally good feelings. So I don't know that there's really any specifics here. Okay. No problem. Okay. Let's give these a shuffle. Let's find Sachi's deck. Looks like it's going to be Prisma. Emperor focuses on control and authority. It sort of leans into that ruler aspect. It doesn't necessarily mean a benevolent ruler or a good ruler, but there's definitely that assertiveness and control that comes with that. Which one, I guess? Seven of Swords, the Emperor. I'm guessing Seven of Swords. Okay. No. Certainly nothing more serious than what you're already dealing with. So it's not like the gravity of it increases. Yeah. So it's not bad. This is more, how would you say that? Presenting itself as a solution to a problem you may have or may already be experiencing. But it doesn't indicate that things are getting worse. Certainly in other decks, the focus would be backstab, and that would hurt a ton, of course, but the focus from this one isn't like that. So, there's certainly nothing terrifying on the health front. You might need to spend some time on it, but again, nothing too crazy. Back to the Emperor on finances. This could simply be budgeting or tracking your spending, really understanding where your money's going and what it's going to. That's the simplest interpretation of this as far as how it would relate to finances. I mean, if it goes any farther, it could be negative, where it's too micromanaging of money. And that gets into like stocks, day trading, which I don't know, maybe you dabble in that, but by and large, this is really just getting a handle on money and understanding what it's doing. Knight of Wands deals with a surge of energy, of passion, usually. This would be the Knight of Love in other decks. I think that might be the Knight of Chalices, but let me focus here real quick. Okay, so then you might want to, well, I mean, I'm sure you're aware of all the concerns about panic selling, FOMO, all the downsides to that. So normally I'd probably recommend taking a lighter grip, trying to go easy on it and not letting yourself be swayed too much. Follow your good practices and don't rush it. Knight of Wands deals with a surge, really, and this does seem to be a surge in finances, in money. I don't know whether that would come from investments or from work. It doesn't sound like jackpot or anything like that. And it frankly doesn't seem too much out of the ordinary. Like, you might have investments that do really well, but I mean, most of the time or at least, um, gosh, from my understanding of investments in general, you buy and hold, and you hold for a long time before selling. Um, with your day trading, that might be different, but here, it really doesn't seem any different than a jump in the market or a rise. So, um, so upturn there. Um, Not enough to retire, perhaps, but yeah, goes well. Any questions, Sachin? Anything I need to go over? Okay, no problem. Okay, and we'll just highlight this one for Lavina. And let me go through that. Okay. Okay, so Lavina, the way you phrased it focuses more on the intent. Um, I'm also going to be asking about the actuality, the reality of it, because he may have good intentions, but if that doesn't line up with how it actually works out, then that's also a problem. Um, but you would come at a different angle for that. So, let me check decks. Okay. Leaning towards the husband. think that might be all. Okay. Okay, so intent on the left, reality on the right. This seems to be the more conscious intent, and this unconscious, subconscious, um, perhaps just influence in their life, um, but that's relating to this in a way that they don't realize. This seems the stronger of the two reality cards as far as when I flip them. Um, yeah, we'll go ahead and do the tarot and then we can talk more after. Ace of Birds, Six of Birds, Nine of Birds, and the Romantic. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to use the book, just because Cosmos a little special. Ace of Birds tends to deal with mental clarity. So as far as intentions, good intentions, means well. As far as he can see and understand, it truly is a benefit. Let me get into Six of Birds for the underlying influence. Normally, this would be move on. It's hard pass. That would be the normal interpretation from a Six of Swords. In this case, for this deck, out of control, leaving behind, moving on. And let me skim through. Yeah. Try to move through the transition with as much composure as you can. Trust that the universe will work things out. So there might be a certain element of fear. And definitely a certain amount that's out of his control, beyond his capacity or capability to deal with. Sorry, this is speaking to his father, based off of how the question was asked. So, his father, as far as he understands, best of intentions and means well. And then Six of Birds. He's not as focused on this, but definitely an influence is, well, a little out of control. Doesn't have things in hand per se. And I mean, with that, there's an element of fear. As far as reality, Nine of Birds. The normal phrase I use for this is analysis paralysis. Focus too hard on trying to get the right answer, that they don't act when they should. Anxiety, hopelessness, mental trauma. So, yeah. Yeah. So the suggestion here, if you are not of clear mind, lower your weapons and take a calmer approach when you are ready. There is no shame in retreating until a later day. That would be a great advice to someone aware of their problem. In his case, um, whether he's coping or whether he just naturally brushes it off, there's definitely a disconnect between, well, how good he sees it being and how bad it could potentially be. So, going on to the romantic. Following the heart, idealist, romantic. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that really just enforces, well, a little more, I guess. Um, the good intentions are echoed here, um, but also just who he is. Um, he idealizes optimists in a sense. Um, it's part of his character um, to be believing in the good things and going after them. So that's part of what we're working with here. So there, it's definitely not intentional, um, but I mean, you'll definitely want a better handle on this. So, um, hey, Mishti, let me finish with Lavina. Um, so, Lavina, from what I know, this is done with the reading. This is just personal advice. Um, I would probably check with someone familiar with the laws um, to really understand whether that is a net positive. Um, I'm sure you understand as well as I that a buy one, get one still results in you spending money. There isn't a free lunch. So I would check someone familiar with the law to make sure that, yes, that does apply. And yes, that really is as good as it gets. Because on the flip side, even if it's like 100% deductible, and I'm speaking from the United States, I don't know how much different things are. That might not be the best investment per se, spending money to save money. So, to sum up, father means well. That would be the first and important thing. So take that into account when you're dealing with him, because it's not like he's nefarious. But then, um, okay. Um, the second thing, um, is that action needs to be taken. Um, that's really the thing that comes from the Nine of Birds. If that you just sit and wait, um, or just stay the course, you're not necessarily in the best of positions. So something does need to happen, and you might still continue to do this. Um, you might in the end decide, yeah, this will be okay. But you guys definitely need to be in a better position of understanding it. Because yeah, the optimistic good faith only goes so far when it hits the road, when we come back to reality. Oh, I just did that. So, did that clear things up, Lavina? Father is well intentioned, but we still need to understand this whole situation a lot better than we do. We might still continue to keep it up. We might also decide not. Personal opinion, this is probably not the wisest way to, well, be handling the money. So, correct. And yeah. Yeah, essentially, the son is paying for the investment, and the father is calling it good with the deduction, whether or not that really amounts to anything. Um, that's something we would need details on. Hey, Scarlett. It is a very pretty deck. It is a little awkward having to double check things just because the interpretations are a bit different from traditional tarot, but still good. Lavina, if you have any more follow up, we can continue that in Messenger. Let me go ahead and do mischief. End of March. I would also doubt it, personally. Yeah, that's the short. Not to say that it's definitely wrong, but yeah, suspicious. Scarlett, if you wanted a reading, go ahead and ask a question, or let me know if you wanted a general. End of March. Okay, lost first. Because of the software I use to stream to multiple platforms, there isn't. I don't have like the exclamation join that most of the Twitch seem to want to use. So I just track the comments really. I'm small enough where I can do that. So, so yeah, just comment, chat your question, and we'll follow up. Okay. No problem, Lavina. It does feel like that. It feels like we should be in February still, but nope, we're a month ahead. And it's probably for the better. Most people prefer summer. I'd rather just skip it over and get to fall. That's my preferred season. Okay. Let me make sure I got them all. Quite a few. Let's see. Those here. Okay. So this answers the second question. Yes, no. Is there any energy shift? This has some light information, but again, light. These two answer your the first question as far as end of March general. So we've got King of Skies, the Sun, King of Oceans, all positive. So yes, definitely a shift. King of Oceans, the detail there would be emotional resilience, emotional balance, but more so gosh, how do you put that? Being able to use your energy in ways that you want, basically. Because the queen would focus on emotional balance, which is in a sense defensive. You can roll with the punches. The king focuses on being able to direct that and use it for their purposes. You pick up a lot of the aspects of the queen, but this is more active, whereas the queen is more passive, aggressive versus defensive, to be overly simplistic. And then as far as the general stuff, Two of Earth, 10 of Skies. So normally Two of Pentacles. This deals with adaptability as well as partnership. Those are the themes there. So having a friend and, well, being flexible, like it says, adapting. 10 of Skies. This is a meteor slamming into a planet. That is a disaster of some sort. As far as what that is, I don't really know. So whether this is like someone dying or a literal natural disaster, or I don't know, a war. Beats me. As far as the nature of that disaster, I'm not sure. I'm not as concerned given that you got the Two of Earth and being able to adapt. You might have to do that more than you would like, but this isn't going to end you. I don't get that sense from it. So I feel like you're going to survive and come out fine. So yeah, interesting. Definitely an energy shift. I'm not sure that it's super positive. You definitely come out better, but don't know that you're coming out the way you want to or had planned. So yeah, let me know if you have questions. And you know how to reach out to me if you need. And that catches up, and we're now on Scarlet. Okay. Energy reading. Okay. Why, hello. I hope it's warmed up a bit. Let's see. Is that good? Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I guess it could be a knockoff. It could be that someone utterly abused the box or something and wasn't worth keeping with the cards anymore. I mean, so this is known as Cosmovisions. It's by James R. Eads. Looks like reeds, but when you stick the middle and last together. But that's who I got this from, off of a Kickstarter. Just if you were interested in origins. And it is focused on... No, it's just... Okay. Gotcha. Not quite. Not quite. Okay. That's one. Okay. So this one answers your question as far as a general energy reading. This one you did not ask for, and it feels more in line with what whatever higher power you believe in wants you to know. Focus being on this, and this being secondary, perhaps just clarifying. But starting with your question, Ace of Birds, the focus here is mental clarity. This would normally be the Ace of Swords, which is a powerful card. But yeah, the focus in this deck for this card, a clear mind. So that's what we've got there. And then here, 3 of Lotuses and Soulmates. Okay, 3 of Lotuses, 3 of Cups or Chalices deals with harmony, synchronicity in a sense. You are where you are supposed to be, doing what you should be doing. You're in the right place, right time sort of stuff. The pieces fall together, things fit. Soulmates would normally be the Lover's card. Let me actually check this one just to see what clarity is going to be coming from that. The notes there are duality, partnership, deep connection. So yeah, so as far as clarifying it, I mean, simply put, it would be yourself. We have a tendency to mask ourselves, present ourselves in a way we think others will appreciate and approve of. But the clarification with the Soulmates is be yourself, be your honest and true self. Which for me makes a whole lot of sense with the 3 of Lotuses, because if you're not yourself in the flow of harmony and whatnot, yet what you've really got going on is dissonance. But yeah. Let me know if you have questions on that. And yeah. Okay. And we're out of time. So thanks for tuning in. Love doing readings for you guys. We'll be streaming next Friday as usual, taking your questions live. Next Wednesday, I'll be gathering questions from the internet and answering those. Also live, but I can't pre-record yet, so we'll figure that out at some point. Hey, Buttercup. Just missed the session. We'll be available next Friday, or, I'm on various social media, so if you want to ask a question, hit me up on any of those platforms as well. I need to go. Fact is, I have work after this, and I do have to get there. So I'm happy to answer your question, but I just can't do it now. I don't have the time. So go ahead and message me on anything you can find Practical Prince. And yeah. So next Wednesday, questions from online. Friday, the normal live session. Hope you guys have a great week. Have a wonderful weekend. And until next time.